Hey Frank, what did you see after you got out to that 13-point lead in the first quarter? Did you see something switch?
Well, I thought we came out with great energy, obviously, and sort of jumped on them, built up that early lead. We just weren't able to sustain it, for whatever reason. Portland's a very good team, and they made their counters with their energy and made their runs, and when they made their runs, we just weren't able to sustain the energy we began the game with.
Frank, AD got some post-ups in the second half. Seemed like he got going a little bit. I just wondered what you thought of his game overall in that first half, especially.
Yeah, I just think we didn't do a good enough job making sure he was involved in the offense in the first half. And we just got to do a bit better job of that. But certainly a little bit better in the second half. Um, just one of those nights we were kind of stuck in mud a little bit. I don't know if because we played last night or whatever. Um, but after, like I said, after we came out strong to start out of the gates, just had trouble sustaining that energy and intensity.
Just any early thoughts on closing lineups? I know it's something that fluctuated from game to game last season, but anything on tonight in that group that you saw for most of the fourth quarter?
Yeah, well, we're a new team, so we're going to continue to look at different things. We can play with Mark or Trez finishing. Um, we have the ability to slide AD over the five. I hadn't had Keith in the game because we wanted to have a ball handler in there with Braun during that stretch where Keith normally plays. So he would have been cold to put him in late. And I like the lineup that we had out there, but we just weren't able to get the job done.
Dave?
Frank, staying on AD, you mentioned that it was kind of on the team to get him better looks. Was there anything on him that he could have done to put himself in a better position, come to the ball more often? Was it just on the team, or was there anything that he could have done as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really starts with the group. And we just weren't moving the ball that well. I got to make sure that I get him the ball in opportunities where he can be aggressive. Because when we do that, we know he's aggressive and carries a big load for us. So it's really on the group.
Bill?
Hey Frank, obviously Portland has really dynamic guards, so maybe this is more noticeable given the matchup. But just what did you feel like you missed with Alex not out there tonight?
We miss Alex. Alex is great energy. He's one of our most vocal guys, even when he's not in the game. Just talking out coverages, and he's like an assistant coach over there. And helping guys through defending actions, and he's a big part of what we do, obviously. So we certainly missed his energy tonight.
We'll take three more questions. Kyle Bloom?
Yeah, Frank. Just Marcus Gasol seemed like he had some good defensive moments, but didn't make the passing influence he had. And Trez, it seemed like he was still trying to find his scoring self even later in the game. What's sort of the balance of trying to find some of those key situations where each guy can play, and how did you tonight sort of make grade on choosing which of those guys to put in the closing lineup?
Yeah, we're gonna have the ability to go with either one of those guys or to slide AD at the five, like we talked about. And we just obviously Trez had a strong night last night. I liked his ability, with what they were doing defensively. With Trez being able to flash to the rim on AD's post ups, or with him rolling in the pick and roll game. But that group just wasn't able to get the job done. Like I said, it's early in the season. We'll continue to look at a lot of different combinations.
Last two, Jovan?
Hey Frank, you guys said a playoff in your pick and roll coverage is because of Dame and CJ's ability to shoot off the dribble. I'm curious how you felt the bigs did in their defensive coverages, as well as in the fourth quarter, and maybe some of those breakdowns.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good for the first time in our scheme. Like I said, we haven't had a whole lot of practice time. Obviously, what we did in the playoffs, you have a whole 2 weeks to lock into one opponent. This is the second night of a back-to-back, so there's not a lot of reps for new guys to get involved. But I thought they did a good job. I think the bigger thing more than Dame's going to be Dame. CJ's always tough to guard, but we didn't get Gary Trent under control. I think that was one of the biggest things with the bench. He came in and lit us up, and if you look at the box score, that's where the separation really existed, you know, in a plus minus, from a plus minus standpoint is, you know, their bench combinations, not just their bench, because obviously, you know, Dame or CJ's out there just like we have LeBron or Anthony out there, but those minutes is where they sort of separated themselves.
Last question, Dan.
Frank, you talked a little bit about rim protection last night. Obviously, it's not going to be the same as it was a year ago when you lose guys like JaVale and Dwight. I think you led the league in blocks last year. Can you do that other ways? Is it with, you know, Trez as a charge taker? Are there kind of different ways to protect the rim? And how do you think that's going to sort of play out here as this team kind of figures out what it's going to do defensively?
Yeah, I don't think we should be any worse than we were last year. You know, there's going to be a high expectation of protecting the basket. You just said it right there. Trez with his charge taking and shot blocking. You know, he's a good shot blocker too. And you know, obviously Mark is a former defensive player of the year. So you know, we have everything we need to get the job done.